Why doesn't God heal everyone? Look at crippled, ill, disabled people like Nick Vujicic. He traveled the world evangelizing and inspiring people, although as a child he tried to commit suicide because God didn't answer his request. Little Nick prayed that he would have arms and legs. He asked God a question, maybe I have sinned or my parents. But no one has sinned, as in the biblical story with the man blind from birth. God said that he was born so that the Lord would be glorified through it. Through the life of Nick, the glory of God is revealed and the whole world sees it. So your biggest problem can become your advantage. Many priests, world scientists, talented people were disabled, but they preached and glorified God with their achievements. Beethoven, being deaf, was able to hear the voice of the Creator and to capture it in music. Edison, nicknamed the father of electricity, being deaf and unlearned, proves the existence of God in a scientific way. Many people judge believers for being ill, disabled, or having no children. But do not judge and you will not be judged. Many healthy, wealthy people will stand before the judgment of God, but those crippled believers will be their judges. Why? Because during their lifetime they didn't have arms, legs, health, children, but they went and carried the good news about Christ to the whole world. At the eternal judgment their suffering will be a great privilege, orders, rewards and advantage. Christ won't condemn them for not being healed. He will condemn those who didn't show compassion, care and support to them. For God himself chose the foolish things of the world, the weak and the sick, the things that are worthless and lowly, to shame the wise and the strong. They, like Nick Vujicic, preach to the whole world and invite all people to the banquet of God, to the church. Street preachers meet you on the streets, you see church advertisements on buses, on social networks, you watch church videos on YouTube. But you can find a million reasons not to come to the church. There are more important worries: a brand new car, a young wife, property, land, business. God? The rich have other things to worry about. That is why God is calling the poor and the crippled. He says, go quickly through the streets and lanes of the city and bring here the poor, the crippled, the lame and the blind. And this is the greatest miracle when the poor preach the gospel. The poor, who have nothing, even health, they go and preach about Christ. They are the light of the world, like a light bulb that everyone can see. God allows some temporary suffering in the lives of believers in order to draw even more attention to them. Through the problem of Nick Vujicic, God drew the attention of the whole world to God's light. And you are the light bulb of God as well, and people, seeing your radiance, glorify God. This is a real Christian cross. Your cross is not an alcoholic husband or drug addict children. The cross isn't just an accessory. To carry a cross means to die for yourself, for the opinions of people, for idols and live for the will of God. To take up your cross means to love God and your neighbor, to forgive everyone. People like Nick Vujicic and other disabled priests carry their cross, following Christ. Look at the structure of the body, how clearly and quickly it executes the commands of the head. Your body and head are one and inseparable. So Christ is the head, and the church is his body. It moves in unison with the head. And if the head, Christ, is in heaven, then the body will follow him. Christ said that his disciples follow him by taking up their cross. These are the signs of a true Christian who will enter heaven. Who is closest to you? Friends? Relatives? Acquaintances? Your body. It follows you everywhere. So, Christ is closest to those who listen to and fulfill his word. Today we have a great chance to become the body of Jesus Christ, the church. This is 100% salvation for everyone. You are the salt of the earth, Christ said. The salt of the earth is the people who play the leading role in history, the most gifted and talented. Salt is good, but if it loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is fit neither for the soil nor for the manure pile. It is thrown out. When we are proud, when we judge, keep idols, don't take the cross of Christ, then our value is less than manure, and we are fit for nothing. After all, even manure enriches the earth, but the salt that has lost its saltiness spoils everything and will be thrown out. Repent. Run to the church and keep the status of the light and the salt of this earth in order to inherit heaven, and not be thrown into hell, prepared for the devil and his fallen angels.